So good morning, world. First, we have to do our tags as we always do every week.
Wow. There we
All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, good morning, Jonathan. What's up? Good morning, bro. Hello and good morning, world. Good morning, people. And welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Super Bowl edition this morning. Thank you all for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that has taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It's always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. I will actually change our view, fellas, so we can be like this. There we go. And so, yes, as a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast page, on Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, YouTube as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Apple Podcasts, or various places or platforms where you can find your podcasts. As the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, and our brother Jamar Goodman takes good pleasure in dealing with a lot of this great technology, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, as well as this morning on Deshaun Reed, as well as our brother Ian Jones, also known as Peoples Hernandez. Today is February 12th of 2022, and we have yet again seen another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw Mr. Ben Simmons in a jaw-dropping, surprising NBA trade, along with Seth Curry now being on their way to Brooklyn in a swap with Philadelphia, who now has James Harden or teaming up with Joel Embiid. And what a now for, I would say for basketball fans, appear to be somewhat of a very, very interesting rival, I believe, going forward between these two in the Atlantic Division. I'm pumped up for the Eastern Conference playoffs. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you fellas, but the East is lit, especially now with these two teams kind of, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to watch for sure. Other big names, right? Such as Karis LeVert, Karis LeVert now leaving Indiana for the divisional rival Cleveland Cavaliers, making this team an interesting playoff threat come April, as well as the Domantas Sabonis moving to Sacramento, and the Indiana Pacers now going young and loading up for the future. And so with that being said, introducing my brother from Indiana, from the wonderful state of Indiana. And on this podcast, Indiana is always brought up, Jamar, for some reason. I don't know why, man. And so
I don't get it.
introducing my brother from another mother, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, look, man, I'm only affiliated with a small corner of this state. I'm originally from your state where you are, man. So let's get the lines corrected here. But good morning. I'm here. How y'all doing? We're good.
Yes, sir, man. Indiana, y'all, is great because it always hosts great events, right? Like Indianapolis always hosting great events, and then the Pacers always give us news. And the coach give us a lot of news too. So,
I don't know those guys. I don't know them. Not affiliated.
it's always great, man. Yes, sir. And back with us again, yet again, Mr. Ng Jones, chopping it up with us this morning.
Yes,
On this
sir.
beautiful morning prior to Super Bowl Sunday. What's good with you, my brother?
Same old, same old. Glad to be here, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And additionally, our brother and co-founder of the Destination Fantasy Football Podcast and a very, very serious contributor here on the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast, Mr. Deshaun Reed Sr. Thank you for joining us this morning, brother, and chopping it up with us always. As you know, this is a conversation, and we truly appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with us as we are done. Since I believe Jamar being our inaugural guest back in 2020 here on the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast, Mr. Deshaun Reed Sr. Good morning, sir.
Oh man, how you guys doing? Look, this is all love, man. It's like a family, you know, every time we up on here, man. It's a pleasure to be here, dude. I am super amped for this week. A lot of news, a lot Super Bowl Sunday, man. It's just a wonderful week if you are a sports fan right now. So I'm glad to chop it up with you guys this morning.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Thank you for chopping it up with us, my brother. So with that being said, gentlemen, let's get right into it. So on our first and foremost segment, it is the Super Bowl weekend. And so we got a number of burning questions with this Super Bowl coming up. And the first, we'll get into various questions and we'll just conversate from there, guys. But which quarterback do you guys feel? And Deshaun, you can start us off this morning, man, since you're our guest. And you can chime in, Jamar, you go, and then I'll go last. Which quarterback has to play the best in order to win this game between Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow? Because they both appear to be great quarterbacks. But which quarterback has to play the best in order to win this game?
Man, it's honestly it's kind of close, but I'm gonna still go with Joe Burrow. Man, I've been flip-flopping back and forth upon it, and I do believe it's Joe Burrow. I believe that the Rams defense gives them a little bit of a better chance for like those guys to make some plays, and like they can almost take the game inside of their hands. Joe Burrow, on the other hand, his defense is solid, right? It's they have been giving up big plays, man. I'm not even gonna mention that one guy named Eli Apple who just seems to just get smoked every week for a touchdown. It's like, bro, I can basically like call it. Like me and my son, we were watching the game, and I stepped into the kitchen and go grab something to eat. It was like they gave up another touchdown. I'm like, let me guess, Eli Apple. Yeah, it was Eli Apple who gave up a touchdown to Tyreek Hill. So, dude, look, Matt Stafford has been pretty good. Joe Burrow has been, honestly, he's been phenomenal this whole playoff run. But I feel like that the Rams have a little bit more so up on the defensive side. They got Aaron Donald, certified Hall of Famer, Jalen Ramsey, arguably the best corner in the game. Those guys can actually make plays, and they can actually turn the tide of like a game with one defensive play. So I don't see too many guys up on the Cincinnati team being able to do that. But I'm gonna give the edge to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow have to almost play a complete game, not turn the ball over. I think Matt Stafford has turned the ball over, and they still have been able to pull out like a victory. So I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow.
Make a lot of sense. Ian, what do you think, bro?
I completely agree with Deshaun. I would say Joe Burrow probably has to play the more complete game, just due to the facts. I think LA has a better team in the trenches. I think that's what the game is going to come down to in the trenches. With that's a lot to go against. You got Aaron Donald, then you got to worry about Von Miller, and the sleeper Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd might have a game of his life. It's going to be hard to try to double team one of those guys. So
just really quickly, and y'all can inform me, who was that tackle for the Rams? That white dude.
Oh, Andrew Whiff.
Yes.
Andrew Whiff, yeah.
He stay wreaking havoc. We always in a lot talk about the big names, but this.
I know you're talking about on defense.
Yeah, for the Rams. that's always coming through, always busting through the
Who's the
whole.
other defensive tackle?
He gets a lot of big sacks. Can y'all help me out here? The Caucasian kid, it's 90 something. Is it 91, 95? It's something like that, Jamar. He always busting through the hole,
For
getting
Cincinnati or
sacks
LA?
for LA on their defense. And so my
Um,
point, y'all, is that we talk a lot about the Leonard. We talk a lot about Vaughn and of course Aaron, but it's the guy that's opposite of Aaron too, the
yeah,
Caucasian tackle that's always busting through and making a lot of big plays for them.
yeah. I mean, in games like these, it's pretty much never the big name. It's always everybody else because they get those one-on-one matchups. They're gonna try to take away, the big guy name. So I would say Joe Burrow. I think the Rams are pretty better than the Bengals in the trenches. So I would go with Joe. But I mean, hopefully Matt Stafford doesn't have a game like some games he just likes to turn the ball over and, hopefully he don't revert back to Detroit, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, man. You bring up a good point about the trenches, and I'm going back to it, Jamar. You can beat me up, but as a Bears fan, Deshaun, I remember watching the Bears game. I remember watching the Titans game, and I don't know. For me, I feel like Cincinnati's lucky to be in the Super Bowl. They lucked up because of their defense. They lucked up because of certain moments. The Titans sacked them 9 times. Ryan Tannehill lost them the game. And so, no disrespect, Deshaun, to the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line, but in a way, they're not the best.
No,
They're not the best.
No.
I would think Joe Burrow, Jamar would know that, and as a result, like he has to kind of play the game he has to play because his offensive line ain't gonna give him much. And so, with the Rams defense, and you guys, you pointed it out on the question yesterday on the page. It was overwhelmingly in the LA Rams defense having an edge. And I think maybe the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line have a lot to do with that, as well as the stars that they got in the front 7 on the LA Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jamar, go ahead, bro. My bad.
So I feel like, I think we're all in agreement here that, Joe Burrow is probably gonna have to be the one to, play the best. I feel like Cincinnati has a less margin of error here to, in order for them to, be competitive in this game. You took my point that I was going to make. Basically, this game comes down to line of scrimmage here. It comes down to, can they block for Joe Burrow? Now, Joe Burrow is the most sacked quarterback in this league. I mentioned that, I think, last week. But also, last time they played, he only got sacked 1 time, and which was astonishing. The time before that, he got sacked 9 times. I just know in any game that I've seen or even heard of, if you get sacked 9 times, normally that team loses. But Joe Cool, and that team found a way to win against Kansas City. They found a way to protect this man. I don't know. I feel like, when it comes to big moments and high pressure situations, this team seems to respond on both ends of the ball. So in order for, Cincinnati to even be in this game, like Joe Burrow just going to have to make plays. That's unscripted. That's, impromptu. That's just have to play backyard football at times. I feel like that's what's going to happen. We seen last year in the Super Bowl how an offensive line can definitely just, teeter the game real quick. Things got escalated quickly again with Kansas City last year against Tampa Bay. That game was over after the end of the first quarter. And so that's what it's going to come down to. I don't care about anything else. If they can protect this man, if he has any time of daylight, if they, I don't know. It comes down to Joe Burrow, his ability to stay up and throw the ball. That's what it comes down to. Stafford has an edge in that department because they don't have to rely on him to win the game. They can, and they've done it, but they have a lot of playmakers on every level of the game on their team, so they're fine. It all comes down to Joe Cool.
Right, man. And so, y'all, as the Rams, being at home, like, are they I mean, I know they're a 4-point favorite, but can I ask y'all, and Deshaun, maybe you can help me here. Why is the Bengals, what makes them be a close favorite and a potential threat to win this game? Because it's a lot of people picking the Bengals, y'all. A lot of people. Everybody I've talked to picked the Bengals. I haven't had nobody that has picked the Rams. And so I'm like, wow, are y'all sure about this? But they like the Bengals. Can y'all tell me why?
Man, honestly, I think it's like an underdog story, basically. Like it's a team that nobody. And if you said that you would have picked them to go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of this year, you're lying. I believe they won 4 football games last year, right? 4. And they come back, Joe Burrow coming back from his injury, you know, come back player of the year, yada, 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 yada. And like he has played amazing up until this point. No one's seen this coming. I do want to make a quick note that I did pick the Rams to go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of this year.
Yes,
I had the Rams and the Bills. I had the Rams and the Bills in the Super Bowl. So here we are. But the Rams did make it. But so I just feel like they are like astonished like right now, and like they're just riding this Joe Burrow wave. Like we've seen it up on social media. Like, you know, when like the nicknames come in, the Joe Cools, I think the kicker there, McPherson, is getting his like shine on right now. It's like a what have you done for me lately case with these guys, and everyone's basically riding a wave, I feel like. And they're just riding like the underdog story. But make no mistake about it. I am firm on the Rams taking this thing home. I do believe that they're the better team. And Jamar mentioned it. He mentioned it perfectly. Like, it's like if you just sit and look at this team on every level, like they got playmakers on top of playmakers, offensive side, defensive side, they are the better team. But the resiliency that the Bengals have shown, especially in that last game versus Pat Mahomes and those guys, man, it's just like you have to smack them in the face early. You have to keep your foot on their neck. You can't do what the LA Rams done with Tampa. Like they were up and they kind of basically took their foot off the gas, left those guys back in the game. You do that versus them, you're going down. Now,
they did that twice this postseason.
Yes, they did. And like they have to like fight from the beginning of the coin flip all the way up until like the end, man. And I believe that they should be able to win this game. But like the 4 points, I think it should be a little bit higher. I think it should be a little bit higher. Like, come on, man. It's the Rams, LA. They're basically hosting the Super Bowl. Man, that thing is gonna be loud and rocking, man. So yeah, the 4 points, I don't get that at all, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And Jamar, any thoughts on that?
I just think it's simply like I've been telling people for the last couple of weeks. I mean, they don't have no fear. They don't have no fear. There's no expectations. Like nobody thought, like Deshaun said, if you said the Bengals were going to be a Super Bowl, but 3 months from now, no, you're lying. Nobody thought they were going to be in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, they have no fear. It's almost like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. They riding that 2019 national championship wave again. And they just bring it over to the NFL.
Generation Z wave.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they don't have no fear, man. They're going for it all. I mean, like I said, it's an underdog story. I think a lot of pressure is on LA. You know, they got all the big name players. The Super Bowl is at home. I think it's a lot of pressure on them. I do think LA will pull it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati some way made it happen. I mean, they've been shocking every week.
Yeah, man, that's what make this team dangerous. Jamal, they kind of remind you of like a Giants team. The Bengals just, I mean, it's just like, I'm just talking about from the basis of no pressure.
Yeah.
Got no pressure. Like, who expected these babies to be in a Super Bowl? They're basically babies.
Yeah.
Nobody. Like, just like y'all said, they be lying. Maybe outside the diehard, like, oblivious fan base in Cincinnati, outside of that, you're lying. You're liars. Look, they're playing with house money. That's what they're doing. They're young. They're playing with house money. There's no fear. And I know for a fact there's no fear because we just like you said, Ian, I mean, we've seen this a couple of years ago. We seen Joe Burrow in a high leverage moment with the game on the line, just show up on the biggest and brightest lights on the biggest stage, just do his thing. It was Tigers then, they're Bengals now. It's all one and the same,
Yeah.
right?
Crazy.
I mean, they did it. They did it before, man. They probably seen like, all right, let's get it going. Let's do it again. So that's what it is, man. They playing with house money, no fear. They young and they've been here before. That's
Yeah,
why.
man. Right, man. This is interesting. And so y'all, between like the Rams and the Bengals, all right, we got a lot of excitement, right? The Super Bowl in LA, y'all. We got a lot of great playmakers. As Jamar always like to mention, Deshaun, Jamar Chase, he has the greatest name in sports, right? So you got Jamar Chase in the Super Bowl, Deshaun, alongside the Rams and the weapons they got. I'm just curious, fellas, and y'all help me out, bro. Like, who are y'all more excited to see? The Super Bowl halftime show with Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, and everybody else, superstars, mama, alongside versus the Rams and Bengals offenses. Which one are y'all more excited to see? The Super Bowl halftime show or these offenses?
Bro, that's a good question. And man, I'm gonna say this.
Skills.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited I am to see the Super Bowl halftime show, it's like a 9. It is a 9, man. This is
I'm looking
probably
forward to it.
this is probably like the best assembled lineup that I've seen in the Super Bowl. Like shout out to Bruno Mars though, man, because he killed it a couple years back. But
Yeah.
this is gonna be very, very good. Like, and I am all locked in during this whole Super Bowl. Good Super Bowl halftime show, new commercials, great game. I mean, life couldn't be better for a football fan, right? But with all that being said, I think as far as offenses go, 10 out of 10, man. You can like a team that like this is a Super Bowl without Peyton Manning, without Tom Brady, without Aaron Rodgers, without Ben Roethlisberger over the past
Hey, don't mention Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's something new. It's something fresh. You got a young guy coming in, second year made it to the Super Bowl, and you got the old savvy veteran, 13 years, I believe he's playing in the league, was with this terrible team, has stepped over to the light, and I mean light by LA Light, which is beautiful, by the way, making that transition from Detroit to LA to the Super Bowl in the first year. It's amazing. Both key stories up on both sides, but the main thing I want to see in this matchup, and quote me if correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, I want to see Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey battle it out. Like that's what I want to see, man. Like, and with that matchup, I do believe it may be the secondary guys to get it done. It may be the T. Higgins to get it done. Because Jalen Ramsey, as we know, he don't play. And I'm gonna say he's the best corner in the league. You can like fight me about it. The dude got swag, he got confidence. Man, that's a dangerous guy to go up against. But as far as like offenses go, oh yeah, man. Like give me the actual game over the halftime show. By slight edge. 1 point though. 1 point.
And Jamar.
To be honest, in past Super Bowls, I really don't pay attention to the halftime show, unless it's certain acts. You know, like you said, Bruno Mars, he had a hell of a show a couple years back. Certain acts I watch, but most of the time I don't really pay attention. But this year, I'm most definitely gonna pay attention to it. Maybe like, as far as I can remember, maybe like the best lineup in the Super Bowl as far as halftime show probably ever. So hopefully they have a good show. I would like to see an offensive game. I hope it's an offensive game. But I was just saying this last night. I don't think in the past Super Bowls, when was the last Super Bowl we've had like a shootout? I don't think we've had a shootout. It's always been like a
the last one I could think of was probably the Eagles and the Patriots.
And that was what? That was like
no, that was the one with Nick Foles.
That was the one after the Rams, right?
2017.
That was one after the Rams. I mean, the
Philly
Falcons.
Philly special.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's rare that we see a shootout. I would like to see a shootout. I feel like Jalen Ramsey is only going to follow Jamar Chase if he starts to be a problem. Like if T. Higgins starts to be a problem, he's going to follow T. Higgins. He's going to follow whoever the problem is. So I know they're going to come out and double Jamar Chase off back as they should. It's gonna be a good one. I would like to see a shootout, but I'll take the. To be honest, I would say a tie. I would say a tie. I want to see both. That lineup is pretty special. Got everybody from LA, and that lineup is pretty special.
One of the great halftime shows I remember, y'all. Remember the Beyonce halftime show, y'all? In New Orleans.
Yeah.
With the Ravens, and 49ers. That was a great halftime show. That was amazing. But go ahead, Jamar.
I was gonna say like that. Yeah, I mean that halftime show. It had 2 halftime shows. The lights went out for like a half hour.
Exactly. That was my point, man.
It changed the whole momentum of that game. But so on a scale of the Weeknd to Bruno Mars, I'm pretty sure this halftime show is going to be closer to Bruno Mars than the Weeknd. But I'm looking forward to, Mr. Chase against Jalen Ramsey. I'm looking forward to who's going to have a better impact in the game between T. Higgins and Odell Beckham Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to see which running back is actually going to take off between Joe Mixon and Cam Akers. I'm just looking forward to unsung heroes left and right. Who's going to actually, show up when the lights are the brightest. I know my guy, Mr. Jamar Chase, ain't gonna back down to Jalen Ramsey, and I know Jalen Ramsey ain't gonna back down to Jamar Chase. So I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I'm all for the nostalgia in the halftime show, believe me, but I got my eyes set on the 60 minutes on the field, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. Eli Apple, y'all. I'm interested in seeing what he does. And look, it's for all the entertainment purposes, right? Eli Apple, y'all, has taken off the superstardom this playoffs.
Eli Apple gonna have a pick this game. Watch.
I'm telling you, man, he done had a pick every game this postseason.
It ain't gonna count either. There's gonna be a flag on the play too. Just his luck.
And so Eli Apple, I feel like Deshaun, he gonna have his phone right there on the sideline as soon as he get his pick. He gonna. I told y'all.
Hey, I wonder if Nico Hardman and Tyreek Hill took him up on his offer with those tickets to the Super Bowl, though. I wonder if they gonna be in the stands.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like,
imagine him getting a game with an interception.
I'm telling you,
you won't ever hit any of it.
Gonna be lit.
I wouldn't even blame him.
Dude, they win, and he at the championship parade, bruh.
Yeah, he gonna start trying to do movies afterwards. Yeah, man, superstar gonna take off, and so I'm interested y'all to seeing how Eli. No, seriously though, I'm interested in seeing y'all how the Bengals secondary, y'all. Because I feel like their secondary has been reliable and they've made big plays this playoff. I want to see how they do against those great Ram receivers. Shout out to Cooper Kupp, y'all. We see he won Offensive Player of the Year, which he, outrightly deserved. That dude has been fantastic this season. Every moment that they've needed him, Jamar,
showed up.
He has been there, undeniably, unquestionably. Super clutch, man. Mm-hmm. Then you got OBJ, who's rejuvenated his career. Shout out to OBJ. I want to be honest here, y'all, and I want to say that I apologize to the people I've offended about the Rams because they have answered all the questions. They are here in the Super Bowl, and they got a very good chance to win. I've questioned Matthew Stafford all season, and he has delivered in all the big moments. Although, he did play Jimmy G in a championship game.
we are not going there. Right? You are the last one to mention that comment.
Look, Brandon, bro, just when I thought you was about to turn the corner, you just had to hit it with a little negativity at the end. But, hey, I'll take the apology at the beginning, though, bro. That was really manly of you, bro.
Hey, man, I own up to it, man.
Like, Jimmy G was your man.
It turned into a backhanded compliment. Hey, just can't let it go.
And so yeah, man, like he's delivered, man. Matthew Stafford, I give you your props, man. You have balled out, brother, and you've been special this entire season. And man, he in the Super Bowl, y'all, and he got a real good chance now to really, really make all his people who question him say, "Hey, look what I got." He got a really good chance tomorrow, but we got this young Bengals team that's obviously sitting there. And so, y'all, with this, just curious, y'all, we've asked the questions on the podcast page. And so, in regards to the edge on defense, we definitely are all in agreement that the Rams, for various purposes, especially offensive line purposes, that the Cincinnati Bengals have the edge on defense. Correct, y'all?
Absolutely.
Right. And in regards to on offense, I want to know why, y'all, as example, if you voted for the Rams, which I believe all three of you guys voted for the Rams, right? And so in regards to having an edge on offense, can you guys give me your reasons why you believe that the Rams have the edge on offense in the Super Bowl?
It's really close. Like we are honestly looking at a team, like, take out Robert Woods. We already know Robert Woods isn't a part of this. Like, we're still looking at one of the best offenses.
Tyler Higbee's out too, Deshaun.
Yeah. Tyler Higbee is out. But Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers, Sony Michel, OBJ, like those guys. They got some firepower.
That's still a lot of firepower. Like,
so, and I understand the Bengals are at 100%. I believe the tight end will play. What's the guy's name?
Usama or something like that.
Yeah, CJ Uzomah. I think he is going to try to play. I got to double check it. Yesterday I was looking at it. They saying that he has a good chance to suit up, but again, like that could go south at any point here. But look, that offense for the Bengals, it doesn't get enough credit. T. Higgins, 1,000-yard receiver. Jamar Chase, a freaking monster amongst men right now, man. 1,400 yards. This dude is doing it all. Joe Mixon is revived, man. Shout out Oklahoma. Like that dude has been phenomenal. Joe Burrow playing at his peak in his second year. He's already ascended to being a top 10 quarterback, in my humble opinion, inside this league at such a very young age. Man, you know what, man? I might have to. I just talked myself up, bro. I might have to make a little bit of a minor adjustment there, man. Yeah, I'm rolling with Cincinnati. I'm gonna give a small edge to Cincinnati because of all the things that I just said, man. But make no mistake about it, it's a sliver, and I mean a sliver. And I can easily hop back up on LA side tomorrow. But both of these offenses, man, I truly do believe we're in for a treat.
Yeah, they do wear orange, so you know, treat part. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why you got on your orange today, Jamar.
Indirectly.
No. We ain't talking about that orange, and no, that's Bears orange. That's a different orange, all right? That is a different orange, man. So yeah, and man, like you picked the Rams, right? You picked the Rams for the edge on offense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your reason, bro? Because the Bengals got a great offense too.
Yeah, like Deshaun stated, man, it's a slippery slope. Could go either way. I probably would say the Rams maybe more experience, maybe, but I mean, it's close. I mean, it's closer than people think. I mean, both, like you said, both of the tight ends are out. They got Robert Woods out, but it's a slippery slope.
Y'all think, fellas, that it's really close because of also now in today's league that they protect the quarterbacks? You can barely hit the quarterback, right? And so do y'all think maybe that's contributed to one of the greatest playoffs we've seen in quite some time, where we've seen gunslinging to the core? I mean, I just can't get over that 13 seconds. But then again, that was still some play calling by Buffalo. but it's been gunslinging this entire postseason. And I know Deshaun, you're shaking your head. You're like, damn, probably so the Bills made the Super Bowl,
I'm
and I have my
telling you,
full pick.
man.
Yeah, man. And so like, yeah, man, with like this protection of quarterbacks though, and like Joe Burrow can just sit back there and flang that thing because
Yeah.
you hit him the
Two
wrong way.
gunslingers, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, two
So-
gunslingers for sure. It's tough. It's crazy. They both wear number 9. But it's tough. I think I'm gonna stick with the Rams maybe because of maybe more experience, maybe. But like you say, tomorrow I don't know. I could change my mind. I don't know.
It
It's
is
a
that
tough-
close, bro. It
Yeah.
is.
Mark, I see you over there, man. What you thinking, man?
Hey, just for the record, you check the polls. I did pick Cincinnati by a slither on that poll.
Oh, okay. Give us your reason then, bro.
I mean, if we're honest, I feel like we're splitting. We are really splitting hairs on this one. And so I'm like, well, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, they cancel each other out just by how, their impact is on the game. They do it in two different ways. I feel like Cam Akers and Joe Mixon kind of cancel each other out too. The tight ends cancel each other out. So it comes down to, for me, that T. Higgins is probably the only like real big body receiver in this game. And so when it comes down to, red zone possessions, I feel like they have the edge because of that, because you have to give him more attention to that part. And if Jalen Ramsey is on Jamar Chase, is like, I mean, to be honest, I don't know the other corners or defensive back names on that team outside of Weddle, who ain't played in 2 years.
The other corner, though, Jamar, you got to admit, he stepped up. He stepped up in the championship game in the divisional game. I think he had a pick 6 in one of those games.
Maybe, but he ain't seen T. Higgins. So
what about Van Jefferson?
I mean, what about Tyler Boyd?
Yeah.
Not gonna sit here and act like he ain't one of the best slot receivers in the whole league.
Yeah. Easily a number 2 receiver, but due to the talent.
Yeah, so I felt that's because that's my reason. T. Higgins is the X factor. I'm not taking anything away from Odell Beckham Jr. because he's spectacular at what he does. But T. Higgins, just his frame along with his big playability, that's the reason why I'm giving the slightest of edges to Cincinnati, because I feel like with that, like, you can make more plays. You have a bigger range to capitalize on offense. So
right.
That's my reason.
Right. I definitely feel like y'all from the eye test that the Rams definitely have the better offense and have the edge, because after watching both of these teams this year, and especially in the playoffs, the Bengals y'all have lucked up as a team. They have lucked up often because their defense has helped them as well as their kicker. The Rams, they've made just big plays that we've seen all year, Jamar, and when it mattered, they made them. And they've just been doing it all year long. Regardless of the moment, that's what they've been doing. And when they're ready to move that offense, y'all, it moves like a flowing train, and it's really hard to stop. Cooper Kupp, man, OBJ, Tyler Higbee has been spectacular. Unfortunately, he's out for the Super Bowl. And Cam Akers, y'all, he's come back like he's got something to prove. He's been playing physical, running the ball, catching the ball, blocking, doing everything that we thought he would do when they picked him up in the offseason. And so that's not to mention Sony Michel alongside him. And so the Rams offense, man, has been spectacular to watch. They remind me in a little bit of a lot of ways, y'all, to that 99 greatest show on turf, because they move up and down the field. And so I'm definitely looking forward to watching this Rams offense for a variety of reasons. It'll be fun to watch, y'all, especially with them being in LA, right? And so with that being said, I think it's that time. It is time for us, y'all, to go ahead and make our picks. And so with that being said, Deshaun, we're going to start with you and then Jamar. You guys go ahead and chime in with us if you guys want to give us your Super Bowl picks. We're gonna post it on the page tomorrow as well. And so, Deshaun, man, give us your reason and give us who you got for between the Rams and the Bengals.
Okay. So first and foremost, Brandon, bro, I'm glad that you mentioned the kicker for Cincinnati's name. I mean, he's been just as important as a Joe Burrow. Evan McPherson, man, like this dude has become like a household name over the past couple of weeks. When have you ever seen a kicker to say, all right, man, we're about to go to the Super Bowl, or we're about to go to the, divisional championship game and, be able to kick a field goal that confidently. So shout out to that guy, adding a little bit of excitement to the kicker position. But so shout out to you, Brandon, for actually mentioning that. I'm glad that that young guy is definitely getting his praise, but that praise will stop today. Well, tomorrow actually. So I am going to take the LA Rams for all the reasons that you guys hit on. Ian mentioned that, it's going to be a game of like the trenches. Brandon mentioned about offense. Jamar mentioned about talent up on every level. And it's like this game is really, really close to pick. So if anyone would say the Bengals, I ain't mad at you. I am not mad at you. But Matthew Stafford being able to push the football down the field, like you mentioned, Mr. Price, and with that defense giving them extra opportunities to do just so. Offense is still about a game about possession, right? Who can control the clock? You know what I mean? And I feel like the defense of the Rams gives them extra opportunities on offense, extra opportunities that the Bengals may not have. I mean, they do have Eli Apple. So with that being said,
I just caught that.
So with that being said, man, I'm taking the LA Rams, and I still think it's gonna be a tight one. I'm taking the Rams by 7. I'm gonna give the Bengals some love. So I'm taking the Rams by 7, gentlemen.
Okay. Yes, sir. And bro, who you got, man?
So in my gut, something tells me that them Bengals is just they're gonna shock the world again.
You picked the Bengals, by the way, correctly this entire playoff.
But I did say the champion will come out of the NFC because of defense. Rams in the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna stick with my first man. I'm gonna stick with what I've been going with. I would love to see the Bengals win. Just their whole story and just how they got there and everything. I would really love to see them win, but I'm gonna go Ram. I'm gonna pick the Rams. This is a tough one. I tell everybody, everybody asking me, I'm like, this is a tough one. I can't. I'm gonna stick with the Rams. I got the Rams 31-14. Odell catches 152 touchdowns, MVP.
So you think the Rams gonna beat down the Bengals?
Yeah, 31-14.
Like it's gonna be a beat down.
Look at Jamar.
Beat down.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Jamar, what you think, man? Is it gonna be a beat down or what?
Man, dude, this probably been like, the toughest decision I had to make all week. I'm sitting there in the booth like SpongeBob. I'm trying to figure this out, man. Oh, man. Stafford, and Cam, and Kupp, and Odell, and Vaughn, and Donald, and Jalen. Jeez. McVay. And I'm gonna pick up where you left off at. I'm gonna be that lone wolf.
Oh my God. Don't do it, Jamar.
I'm gonna do it.
Because you got on orange this morning, Jamar?
No, we ain't tricking and treating over here. No. No, I'm gonna pick Joe Cool. And I just have this feeling. It's just the fact that he's been there before. I know it's not, Super Bowl, but I seen him in high leverage moments. I have yet to see Matthew Stafford on the biggest stage. I know he's been playing exceptionally well. And also, at times it's postseason, like, man, you turn into Jimmy Garoppolo out here. I don't know, man. But Joe Burrow has stayed cool in the middle of adversity this whole postseason. And the reason why I couldn't pick, Cincinnati this whole time because of Eli Apple. And so now I feel like I've learned that Joe Burrow, cancels out Eli Apple and everything else. So I'm gonna do it. And like, I mean, they lose, but they playing with house money, man. Like all the pressure's on LA. So I'm taking the cool guy on this one, man. Bengals.
Yeah, man. For me, fellas, everything for me, y'all points to LA winning this. At home, they've been a better team. And once again, this is my story and I'm sticking to it. I feel like Cincinnati Jamar is lucky as hell to be here. But it makes them dangerous because once again, they are playing with house money. As we've seen, y'all, with Tennessee and with Kansas City, y'all, when Cincinnati get that momentum, those home teams, they got sweaty palms. And they're like, crap, this is a big moment, Deshaun. Like, we got to be, it's a nervous time right here, really nervous. And what moment with LA, Jamar, being in LA, Super Bowl at home, all these acquisitions you made, you done gave up the house and everything else to have this roster. You can't tell me, y'all, right now that the Rams aren't under pressure still. Even in the Super Bowl, they still have a lot of pressure with all the stuff that they've made, and they made the Super Bowl, and that's answering a big question. They still got a lot of pressure. And if they lose the Super Bowl, just saying, the headlines will come out about LA, and it will be people that will be questioning their whole franchise, and that'll be sad after them making the Super Bowl, literally making the Super Bowl. But they'll talk about being at home. They'll talk about all what you gave up. They'll talk about the big names you got in the superstars and how you couldn't get it done against a little young team, babies, Gen Z, Cincinnati Bengals team. Those would be the headlines. And so it is a lot of pressure on the Rams. And they do have a great team that they're still playing, however, Jamar. But with that being said, I'm going to go with the LA Rams. They have literally, they got ballers everywhere. Cincinnati do too. But as we mentioned, man, I think finally these Wolves that I've been talking about with the Cincinnati Bengals, I think it finally catch up with them. I think this offensive line issue stuff, you can't win a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. And with the defensive guys that we see on the other side of the ball, I think them dogs will be hungry and they'll see an opportunity to eat. And Joe Burrow will be that feast, especially with a bad offensive line. And so you take Jamar Chase out the game. If you got Jalen Ramsey on him, yeah, you got the other guys, but hopefully those other guys come up and be big. Hopefully they do. Because if they don't, then, this could very well turn out to be an ugly game. And so for various reasons, y'all, I'm going with the LA Rams. If the Cincinnati Bengals win this game, it have to be some things that will have to go their way seriously, y'all, on a number of ways. It'll have to be sweaty palms from the Rams. It'll have to be feeling that pressure. And it'll have to be them making mistakes on the offensive side of the ball, where the Cincinnati defense can force some turnovers. If the defense for Cincinnati can force some turnovers, that will keep them in the game. But if they don't, the Rams, I think, will transition into this a pretty smooth win. I got the Rams. Yes, sir. So with that being said, fellas, that covers our analysis for the Super Bowl. Let's now transition into the NBA. Just with any comments. So Victor Young, I'm going for the underdog Bengals. Good morning, Jeremy.
He would say that.
LOL, realistically, the only good team since he beat was KC. Titans and Raiders weren't that good, in my opinion. Okay. Jamar put who they, the Bengals. Victor stated, I want them to win, but I just don't see it. Rams got too much going for them. Jeremy Thomas, he's still going to ball out. My man was sacked 9 times, still won. Good point, man. If you sack 9 times and you still win, goddamn, you feel like you can do anything on a football field.
I mean,
you ain't lying.
It's like,
anything's possible.
It's like you knock him down, he's still getting up though.
Right, man. That's a good point, Jeremy. He could probably get sacked a number of times, man, and still be in the game because all it takes is a chunk play in
Oh, he
today's
will get
NFL.
sacked. He will get sacked.
Yeah, and so maybe he can overcome those sacks, Jeremy. Maybe so, man. And so, y'all, we will be posting again, just stuff relating, and leading up to the Super Bowl, including the picks tomorrow, and then some various questions, related to today's segment that we can all answer as a group on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast page. And so, keep in mind, y'all, tomorrow the Super Bowl. Believe it's on Fox, right, y'all? This one. And so, we can confirm the network shortly, but y'all find the network, y'all know what's going on, the sports fans. And so looking forward to that definitely, as well as the All-Star game next weekend, but that's next weekend. All right, y'all. Speaking of basketball, let's get into the NBA. And so Ben Simmons, Steph Curry, Andre Jaron, and 2 first-round picks have been sent to Brooklyn, while James Harden heads to an immediate ready to win Philadelphia 76ers team. And so just curious, fellas, and Deshaun, you can start again, bro. For the remainder of this season, which of these 2 teams do you think has the best chance to win the NBA title?
Man, I was hoping that you wasn't gonna say that. But man, like it's you know what? I've been back and forth, like asking myself, like who actually won this trade? Like who had like the better end of this deal? Whose team is stronger after the deal was done, after all the smoke cleared? And honestly, bro, like I still can't give you a straight answer. But one thing that I do know is, in my opinion, over the games that I've watched, Joel Embiid is probably, the MVP right now. I mean, he has been phenomenal. He actually took a shot at Ben Simmons on his way out the door, which was actually funny.
Oh, that was
So, yeah.
But let's talk about also the shot during the All-Star game picks. Did you see that shot that Durant did at James Harden?
I did not. No, I didn't even get a chance to watch that.
Jamar, you want to inform him? I believe Jamar
Bruh.
posted it on the page.
Bruh. So I guess, Durant had it was basically the last 2 picks between him and Gobert. And Durant with the straightest face said, LeBron's team got Giannis and somebody else in the paint. We need some rim protection here. And I'm gonna have to go Rudy Gobert. He basically was throwing Harden under the bus the whole night.
Yeah. Okay.
Straight face too.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things to where I still want to give the edge. Like if we're talking about now, I'm gonna say the Sixers. Joel Embiid got exactly what he wanted. Another alpha, someone who can actually have the ball at the end of the game. That's pretty much what he wanted in James Harden. Do some things, kind of like scare me with James Harden. Yeah, his, inconsistency, the lack of him being in tip-top shape for one thing. It just sometimes it seems like he give up on plays, but make no mistake about it, James Harden is still a primetime player. And I just feel like that I'm just gonna give them just that edge. And again, it's very, very close. I like the trade as a whole. I think it uplifts both teams. And like the Steph Curry deal, like that was huge to me, man.
That's
like
big.
That was huge. Yeah. So even with that still being said, that's another shooter that they got around Ben. But so it's I'm gonna give it this year. I'm gonna say the Sixers. I'm gonna say the Sixers, but who knows for the future. But bravo by both sides, honestly, to be able to help their franchises moving forward.
Yeah. And go ahead, bro. Enlighten us.
I think both sides got what they wanted. Was a pretty good deal. I think Brooklyn, in my opinion, Brooklyn got the better deal. They got the picks. They got Seth. I think Ben Simmons will probably fit them better because they don't really need him to score with them having Kyrie. But I mean, he can score. I mean, besides shooting, I mean, he can take it to the basket for sure. He can facilitate. He can play defense. You got length. You got KD. I mean, Kyrie is kind of like the X factor regarding his vaccination status and if they're gonna lift the mandate or are they just gonna pay the fines for him to play, during the playoffs. So that's gonna be a big thing. James Harden and Embiid, it's gonna be something good to watch, definitely entertaining. But I don't know if they can just if they just gonna run pick and roll all day. I don't think they can win the championship like that. Is James Harden gonna play defense? We know Joel Embiid is he gonna stay healthy? I just think I would say Brooklyn. If Ben Simmons come in with his mind right, I would say Brooklyn.
Yeah. And Jamar, I know you're thinking here, but I'm kind of with you, and you raised some really good questions with Philly. James Harden, y'all, he has been battling his health, and we know about Joel Embiid and him battling his injuries. Mm-hmm. And so, like, they could very well end up if they both get injured, then Philly ain't got a chance at all. And so that is a very, very good point, man. So Jamar, what you think, bro?
Like, in my opinion, both teams won this deal for various reasons, like Deshaun said earlier. I mean, health. I mean, health is definitely a reason. Definitely a good question, that y'all just brought up. I mean, Embiid definitely haven't been the healthiest, specimen. James Harden always has some, hamstrings or some, soft tissue injuries here. I mean, we can say the same thing about Kevin Durant nowadays. I feel like that man just finds a way to inadvertently just randomly show up hurt and then all of a sudden out for 2 months. Mm-hmm. Kyrie missed half a season.
That's his new name now.
Half a season.
I mean, he ends up on the injury report, so that man could be fourth of a season. I don't know. Like,
last season in the playoffs. That's the reason why they ain't probably won the chip last year.
So, I mean, okay, let's just say health aside, because apparently health, factors into all these star players right now. I feel like, Ben Simmons and James Harden, like, they gonna come in better than their face value is. James Harden, I'm pretty sure he knows that, this is it. Like, this is the last, I don't want to say last dance, but this is like the last hurrah for this man. He probably gonna have one more big deal left. I mean, the pressure and scrutiny is on this man. Forced his way out of Houston, and then a year later forced his way out of Brooklyn. Like, don't want to be high profile, like don't want to officially, declare a trade, but all that bull crap. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be highly motivated to play a lot, at a better level than what he's been doing. And then you would probably say the same thing about Ben Simmons too. I know he hasn't played, but I'm pretty sure the last time you saw him on the court, he's actually gonna look a lot better than that. He's probably gonna have confidence again. He's gonna have a fresh start. He's gonna actually probably play with somebody that actually complements his game a lot better on both ends of the court. And so when you take that pressure off on both players, I mean, you just gonna get, a lot better version of each one. And so to answer your question here, it is pretty tough. I can definitely see, why Deshaun picked the Sixers. Even though they gave up Steph Curry, I mean, you still got Tobias Harris, you still got Danny Green, you still got Maxey. I mean, you got Joel Embiid, who's could possibly be the best complimentary piece that James Harden ever played with, because he is definitely head and shoulders above Dwight Howard when he was on the Rockets at one point in time playing with a big man. Joel Embiid can do a lot more. It has a better winning attitude about it. He's a winner. Dude. I'm gonna pick Philly, but I feel like they're dead even to me. That's my honest opinion, but if I had to pick one, I'm picking Philly, and that's because I'm just pulling the hair out of this brush that says Philly. That's it. don't
Man,
know, man.
Man, I'm looking forward, y'all, to the Eastern Conference playoffs. And so, Jeremy, I know he was talking about the Bulls. He said, "Why we never mention the Bulls?" We will mention them, trust me. And when
DeMar
playoff time
DeRozan
comes
for
around, we will
MVP.
definitely say that again. Then,
DeMar DeRozan for MVP.
yeah,
Oh.
man. Like we will mention the
Debo.
Bulls for sure. You know, like the Bulls just haven't been fully healthy, y'all. But
Yeah,
when the
yeah,
Bulls get they full roster back, I'm telling
yeah.
you, man, like the East finna be lit, bro.
Oh,
Like
it's
we
it's,
got
it's
we
coming.
got we got Miami. If some people got them as favorites, including Stephen A. Smith, he think they're gonna win the East. Brooklyn. We see what they just did. Ben Simmons, and I know he might not have
Wait, 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 wait,
confidence
wait,
in
wait,
all of
wait, 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 wait. Hold on. Is that the same Stephen A. Smith that picked the Knicks to have a better record than the Bulls at the beginning of the year? Is that the same Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah.
Have you watched the Bucks lately?
Wait, I'm getting all these squads, man. He picked the Heat because the Heat y'all got shooters. Like, remember that song by Chief Keef Shooters? The Heat got shooters.
Shout out
They got a
Chicago.
whole bunch of them to complement they style of play. So you got the Heat, y'all. You got the Brooklyn Nets with Ben Simmons now, with Seth Curry, who's a shooter. They already got Patty Mills. They already got Kyrie Irving. They already got KD. Come on now. Philly.
That's tough.
With James Harden and Joel Embiid, right? Jason Maxey, Tyrese Stabolt, who's a great defender. All these weapons, Tobias Harris. We forget about him and how great he is. Like, he's still on Philly, all right? We got the Bulls. Bulls ain't even healthy right now, and they second place, really first place in the East right now. And don't let us get Patrick Williams back before the playoffs begin.
And it's
We
happening.
get him back, it's gonna be on.
Hey, March is going to be a good month for us. We getting basically all our players back next month. Look
I'm
out.
telling you, man. Then you mentioned the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Eastern Conference champs. They right now, y'all, are ascending and winning every game and blowing people out, and they're looking like the team we thought they would be. With Giannis, of course, being strong in the MVP. Go ahead, Jamar.
And they just traded for Serge Ibaka. So
yes,
Crazy,
so they
man.
done got bigger now. They done got a shooter too. Like this helps Milwaukee. And I know they might not be on people's radar, but they should be because this guy's from East Indiana. He's been named as an all-star. Kevin Love has been doing fascinating work with this team. The Cleveland Cavaliers, y'all. Have we forgot about them and what they've been doing lately? And so
ignore them.
you got 7 legit teams, and oh yeah, let me not disrespect Trae Young and what they're doing in Atlanta.
Nah, we're disrespecting Trae Young today.
I mean, I'm just saying, if they get in the playoffs, even as an 8 seed, Jamar, they will not be an easy out. They won't.
I rather. I mean, the Raptors are a tougher team than
The
Atlanta this year.
Raptors, thank you. You're proving my point. And so, unfortunately, one of those two teams might not make it between the Raptors and the Hawks. That's literally might be a play-in game right there, and that'll be a fun game to watch. And so, like, the Eastern Conference is certainly lit, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this season. I'm looking forward to the playoffs, man. It's gonna be definitely something to watch for sure. All right, y'all. And so with that being said, yeah, I do want to ask that question, y'all. Like, and with Jamar's approval, he approved me, y'all, to ask this question on a rate of 1 to 5. How excited are y'all for the Eastern Conference playoffs? Like, I'm excited at a 5, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna be all in for this, boy. I'm gonna be all in for this because I don't think it's gonna be a bad game at all. Every game probably could come down to the last couple shots for real.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. Deshaun, out of a 1 to 5, bro, with all these teams we just named, how excited are you for the Eastern Conference playoffs? Because I feel like the West will be fun, but the East is where it's at right now.
I mean, I'm just going to say this. I am a Dallas Mavericks fan, so I my heart is out west, but I'm gonna bring my attention to the East right now. I'm gonna say out of 5, I'm a 6. I'm a 6 right now, man. I'm excited about it. You want to know why? Cleveland is ascending right now. Shout out to Darius Garland, Gary, Indiana native, doing his thing, man. First All-Star. Like, this guy is turning into a just a primetime perennial all-star within our eyes. So Darius Garland, Cleveland sits at what, the number 2 seed right now, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just because like these guys are balling, and I cannot wait to see how things unfold. You guys as Bulls, like you already mentioned, not even healthy yet, but you're still competing against those higher level teams and still looking good while doing it. Milwaukee is making a surge at the right moment. They'll be within like that mix within like the next couple of games. It's a dog fight from what 1 to 5 in the East right now. So, man, it's gonna be some good, compelling stuff, man. And I cannot wait to see how this thing is gonna unfold over the course of the next couple of months. Yeah, I'm highly excited. Highly excited.
Yeah, Jamar, man, out of a 1 to 5, man, with the Eastern Conference, how excited are you for the rest of the season and the playoffs?
Man, C red. If C red was a number, that's my answer. C red. That's all. That's all you need to know. That's all that ever be. Just know when we get our perimeter defenders back, that also is our pretty good playmakers between Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. Wait till we get them back. Oh, when Patrick Williams come back, wait till that happens. We haven't seen that man since the beginning of the year, since October. Wait till this buyout market hit. That's gonna be the Bulls' best friend right there. So just wait. Just give us a month. Give us a month. Second in the East right now, 1 game behind Miami at the moment. Just give us a month. I'm excited.
Word. Yeah, man. Definitely. So on the other hand, y'all, we got to go from East to out West, y'all. And I don't want to depress y'all before the weekend begins. But we got to talk about the Lakers. So,
oh no! Wait, do I got some wine in this fridge right now? Nah.
Hi, LeBron.
Exactly.
And so, y'all, we've been seeing the pictures that's been posted on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast page. I don't know who posted it. It's been between Jamar, Shorter, Rupert, and some others that's been posting pictures of LeBron. Looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers roster like, damn. And so, because right now we see he going through a lot right now in LA, man. And so, just curious, y'all. Upon watching the Lakers continue in that slump, at this point, is there any hope that the habits of this team will change?
No.
And,
Like, can I go first?
Go ahead, Jamar.
So are you guys literally saying that the Lakers will miss the playoffs this season, y'all?
Very possible.
Look, yes, like what Jazine said, it is very possible the Lakers can miss the playoffs this year. Look, we basically been talking about this question for like the last 3 weeks straight. Like, look, they are who they are. There's no change in that. They are 26-30. That is 56 games into the season.
They lost last night, then, I mean.
Did they?
No, they didn't. I don't think they played last night. But they lost the night before to a Portland team who has YMCA players. Like, how do you lose to a Portland team that has nobody? And this is a Portland team that just made a trade, so they didn't even have a full roster of players that even traded for it. How do you lose to Portland? How? You have LeBron James on your team. How? You have Anthony freaking Davis. How? You even sat out Westbrook because we thought Westbrook was the problem. Apparently he's not all the problem.
Right.
How? Like, look, between Vogel, between Westbrook, between Rob Pelinka and LeBron James, they go hand in hand because apparently every deal that the Lakers make, Rob Pelinka has to run it through LeBron James to get his approval first.
Yep.
So everybody is at fault. Oh, let's
age too.
I mean, yeah, the age, but no, you got a young superstar in his prime. He's the president of the Glass fraternity, Anthony Davis. You have Anthony freaking Davis. #fragile. That's who you have.
Street clothes.
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
That is so fitting.
Look, and you bump him the wrong way. They got Anthony Davis outfit right there.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible.
You walk down Michigan Ave, Macy's, you see an Anthony Davis mannequin out there ready. But no, I mean, look, in all seriousness, like the only way the Lakers are actually gonna like, do something here to actually like solidify their playoff spot and maybe, somewhat make some noise, quote unquote, is if Anthony Davis like plays like the monster that we know that he can be. That's just all it is to it. Like Anthony Davis has to play the best version of himself. But I mean, that might be asking a lot for a guy that, can give you about 5 great games and then has to stay out for the next 20. So I don't know what's going to happen here. But what I do know is, the Lakers are 9th in the West. You have a Clippers team who doesn't have Kawhi Leonard. And I don't know when Paul George coming back, they have a better record than the Lakers. You have a Minnesota Timberwolves team. I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to repeat this until the Lakers have a better record than them. The Minnesota Timberwolves only made the playoffs one time since the Kevin Garnett era. One time. And that's when Jimmy Butler went rogue on that team. That's the only time they made the playoffs. And they have a better record than the Lakers right now. A Denver Nuggets team who doesn't have Jamal Murray or back problems, Porter, or anything like that. They just have Jokic. And they got a better record. The Dallas Mavericks, who traded away a unicorn, not because of his ability, because he's never on the court either. They traded him away and they got a better record than the Los Angeles Lakers. The Utah Jazz, I can go on and on and on. The Memphis Grizzlies, who are probably exceeding everybody's expectations, are 3rd in the West. And yet the Lakers got all these big names and star power and can't put anything together. They're no good than, I don't know, the snow on my car right now. Dude. And don't let the New Orleans Pelicans catch them. If the Pelicans catch them, I'm
Pelicans
completely
right
done.
there, right by them, believe it or not.
Do not let a shutdown Zion Williamson team catch the Lakers right now. You would hear my mouth until the end of the season. Whew. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, man. Wow. The Lakers, what a disappointment. Now, the good thing about it, Charles, is that it's coming to All-Star break. Maybe the Lakers could use it. They got a very important 5 games or so left for the season. 26 in this case. And so they got to make it count. If not, man, what will the headlines be in LA? And what will it be just around the sports world if the Lakers with all that star power miss the playoffs? And so with that, y'all, and with that being said, thank you all for tuning in with us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Please remember, y'all, that there is a Delta and now an Omicron variant from COVID and hospitalizations from cases that are still on the rise from coast to coast. So remember to be careful, people, and if you are not vaccinated, do your part by wearing a mask. Please continue to chop it up with us and support our podcast, please, on various platforms. And if you are and would love to talk sports with us, we are here, and we would love for you to chop it up with us. Your love and support is truly appreciated. And we just want to ask, and I just want to ask you guys, and maybe Jamar and Ann caught this. You probably did too, Deshaun. I forgot to ask. As we head into the weekend, you guys have any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Man, you know what? I thought that you guys were gonna mention it. Like, I saw arguably the ugliest play in all the sports that I've ever saw in my life. It was during that Duke game, man. And
oh man,
I'm gonna say this with a straight face, okay? Because I'm raising a son. My son plays sports. He plays basketball every Friday. He plays football. I would never teach him how to play the game that way. There's no room for what that young man has did. He made 0 plays up on that ball. And as a father, if I had to come out of the stands to wheel my son in a wheelchair, it could have been worse than what it is. Thank God that young man was able to finish that game, but it could have ended up much worse than that.
Yeah.
So I say that with a straight face. It's hopefully like guys like us be able to mentor the younger generation, let them know that there's no room to be played for the game to be played in that way. It was disgusting. It was despicable. Hopefully they pull that guy's, either he gets a suspension or pull his scholarship or something. But me raising a young man to play sports the right way, how to go out there and have fun, do the fundamental things to make sure, keep your mind right. Like, hey, at the end of the day, it's still a basketball game. It's still a football game. You know what I mean? And like that was it was disgusting, y'all, man. Like I don't want to see it. You know what I mean? And like I had like a conversation with it about my bros and stuff like that. And it was just disgusting, man. And that's my last and final thought. It was I don't want to have to be able to see that. Thank God I wasn't able to watch that game. I plan on tuning to watch it, but like the headlines blew up and I caught it. And I'm like, man, no way that this is happening in a real game. It was just ridiculous, y'all, man.
Yeah, man, bad sportsmanship for sure, man. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Sean, for sure. So, bro, any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
It's the same as usual. DeMar DeRozan for MVP. I'm gonna keep saying. I'm gonna keep saying. Every other night is 35, 38, 45.
Yeah, man, balling out, ain't it?
Props, man.
Yes, balled out last night. 35 on them last night.
Yep.
Jamar, brother, any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
I got two different ones. Shout out to the NFL awards. I ain't talking about the real awards, but these other ones here. So Karen of the Year go to Aaron Rodgers. Least valuable to Jalen Ramsey. Shouldn't have comeback player of the year. Your boy Big Ben. Offensive player of the year goes to Trayvon Diggs for giving up all the big plays. Worst supporting cast goes to Patrick Mahomes' crew right there. The CTE award goes to Antonio Brown. Offensive coach of the year. Offensive coach of the year goes to John Gruden. Kicker of the year goes to Urban Meyer. Aaron Hernandez.
Wait, Jamar, say that one again for Urban Meyer. What's the name of it again?
Kicker of the year.
Kicker of the year.
That is funny, bro.
Aaron Hernandez Men of the Year goes to Henry Ruggs and Devon Arnett, former Raiders. Yeah, that was. And then best hands of the year goes to Alvin Kamara.
Wow.
A whole lot.
Wow.
Best hands of the year. Eat your heart out, Cooper Kupp.
Oh man. And so, I definitely wanted to give a funny before I get into my second point. I'm saying this very sarcastically. Shout out to the NFL for the Hall of Fame. Shout out. You had a wonderful class this year.
Oh no.
So somehow you don't have Devin Hester in your class this year. Somehow you don't have Zach Thomas in your class this year. Dude, this whole class is trash.
Andre
Throw
Johnson.
it all out. Dude, that dude was a freaking beast all the way around. Like the only person that I'm okay with in this class that they have out here is probably Leroy Butler. Outside of that, you can throw this whole thing in the trash. I feel like it's very disrespectful to my boy Devin Hester for not making first ballot Hall of Fame. It should be without a doubt. Like, how do you not put that man in the Hall of Fame? They change between the rule changes and the fear factor that they had. Dude, at one point in time, I believe he had in his first 2 years, I think he had almost like double-digit returns, and then they stopped kicking this man for like 2 years, and then he started picking up the pace again. Mm-hmm. And you're going to sit here and not have this man in the Hall of Fame. Deion Sanders went on 2 rants about this. Like, put this man in the freaking Hall of Fame. That's all I got.
Yes.
Props, Mike.
Yes. Thank you for that, Jamar. That is facts, man. Yeah, I'm going to just hit y'all with a real perspective. COVID's going on, y'all. Be careful. Do your part, wear your mask. You got folks still going crazy all over in different parts about the mask mandated different things. If you're not vaccinated, do your part, because there are still people that are still, believe it or not, y'all transitioning due to COVID. And so we got the Super Bowl, y'all, this weekend, 5:30 p.m. NBC. And so tune in, y'all. Have a blessed weekend. Be safe, be smart, be productive. We thank you all for supporting us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Peace.